What's up, garden friends? Jeff here, Tropical Plant Party. Today, I'm doing something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. You may have seen this over in my vlog, the weekend twig videos, this weekend gardening videos, in the Serenity Garden. So if you watch that, then you may remember me talking about how I hadn't fully decided if I wanted to just pot this guy up or if I wanted to do kind of like a mock bonsai sort of thing with it, or incorporate it into like a miniature garden. And I did go ahead and I potted it up, and then I was like, you know what? No, I think I want to use this for today's project. Okay, so what we have here is the Bloomathon Lavender. This is a reblooming azalea from Proven Winners. Now this guy's only hardy zone 6B to 9, so how I treat this in winter is going to be a little bit different from some of my other bonsais because it's like right on the cusp of what's hardy. And I'm not really fully bonsaiing this. Well, you'll see. It's more of like I don't know what this says. Let's just have fun with it. That's the point here. Gonna have some fun. Also, I hope that fan's not too loud. I went ahead and I set things up so it's blowing. I've noticed if I stand on the other side of my camera, you can barely hear me, so I figured maybe if the fan's over there, it won't be too bad. What I'm doing here is I'm feathering out the roots because this is just a little bit, maybe an inch, half an inch taller than a pot's going into, and I actually do want it to be raised up a little bit. I'll explain that later. And how I'm doing this, I'm just using a chopstick. It takes a long time, but I want to preserve the roots as much as possible, so I just go through and from the top down to the bottom, I'm just feathering out chunks of dirt, basically. Really feathering out the roots, I should say, to help get the chunks of dirt to fall out. I'm gonna do that and then I'll come back because this is gonna take a long time and it's super boring. All right, that's done. It's just a smidge above the top of the pot, which is what I wanted. So now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and fill this in with some nice sandy good dirt and start planting it up. I know this is probably looking kind of weird, but it's going somewhere, trust me. So now that I have this done, I've been trying to get in here and kind of smooth a gradient to create a slope. There's like a chunk in there that's sort of getting in the way, but not a big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and pack this down a little bit, and I'm going to very lightly water this in now. The reason I went ahead and watered this in lightly for starters is because, well, I'm going to add moss to it, and I wanted to get any dirt that was going to move where it's naturally going to. Now, I would typically use a bonsai soil, or not a soil, topper, the crushed lava, but that stuff's pretty pricey. And this is paver base. It costs about $3 for a giant bag. It's kind of messy, but it has sand in it, which is good because I want more sand in the soil. I did go ahead and rinse it very, very thoroughly before putting it in here. Oh, I should probably talk about the moss, shouldn't I? I'm using this terrarium and fairy garden moss. It's from mossacres.com. I picked it up at my botanical gardens here. It basically just says to press it down firmly, make sure there aren't any air pockets, and water it. So we'll see how that works. I would really prefer to use moss that's already green, so I might end up not liking this and going and just digging some moss out of my garden. But I kind of wanted to try this out, so was that not in focus this whole time? I'm sorry. Time to add some stones. But first, let me add the other focal point of this pot. There we go. Okay, time to move on. I'm just kidding. That would look ridiculous. Okay, I'm kind of liking this. Now, there's a fern behind our Japanese man. So I'm going to move the fern to the other side of the pot. I think that'll look better. Yep, that looks better. Now I want to work in some larger stones. 3 different types of moss in here. Directions for this moss basically just says to make sure it's on top of moist soil and that moss does not like air pockets, which, yeah, that makes sense. And okay, I forgot to show you guys or talk about something really important here. Also, I'm going to be taking this plastic bag and cutting it. Just snips. Doesn't have to be all that clean or even. I just need to get it open and bigger. And it should, actually, the seam should just pull right through. Okay, so let's just pretend for a moment that I hadn't put this gravel in yet and I had remembered what I was doing beforehand. I have to deconstruct things just a smidge. What I'm doing here is I'm digging out a basin. Now I'm going to go in here. I want my gravel up high. I'm pushing everything back a little bit because I want to make sure that there's still enough space to pull something over the plastic that I'm putting in here. So now that that area is dug out, I'm going to take my plastic, sure that the edges are all up high. Don't want any low points in here and anything that sticks up too high. Once the plastic is pressed in place, I'm going to add gravel to the bottom of it to help it hold its shape so I can cut it out. The goal here is to hide the plastic as much as possible. And now that that's done, I'm going to take my scissors and just kind of cut this area out and clean it up. And there you have it. That's how to spend 10 minutes hiding a piece of plastic. Let's put some water in there. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to reduce this to a lower flow, if it will let me, and try and flush the loose debris out. Maybe the water's too clear. I can't really see it on camera. There we have it. Got a little pond in here. I'd like to have been able to put like a basin in here with a pump and a little waterfall. But I didn't have any of the materials and I kind of just wanted to stick with stuff I have. I am going to have to remember to put some of those mosquito dunk pellets in here though. Alright, and you'd think that this would be done, but not quite. I still need to prune the azalea. I need to just move a few branches to open a little bit of space. I want to be able to see through it just a little bit. And done. Here there are some philodendrons, a sword fern that's a micro sword. I put these mosses in, but I don't know what kind they are. The philodendrons are temporary. They're just kind of in there for fillers for now. Next year I'm going to be using some type of dwarf hosta. And then in here there is a dwarf caladium planted inside my little Japanese guy. These are hardy through zone 6B. And they are supposed to rebloom. And seeing as how it's, what is it, September now, and it has flowers on it, I'd say it's a good rebloomer. Also put in this little aroid here. I'm actually not even certain what this little guy is. But I found it growing in my garden, so I went ahead and just popped a piece off of it and threw it in here. Also, pardon the mess here. I've noticed with all the different colors on my potting cart here that my camera has a lot of trouble focusing, so I actually took dirt and spread it around the top to help it focus better. Okay, and I also want to mention there's another alternative for using the plastic in here. You could use a plastic drain dish or a terracotta drain dish. Any types of drainage dish that you could put in here would work well. Or really I would prefer to put like a large Tupperware down here and just fill it with rocks with something on top and run a pump and have a little fountain. That would look really cool, but it's not really working for what I'm doing right now. Partially because where this is going, I don't have an outlet to plug a pump into. As far as the placement of this goes, that's going to be in Saturday's video. That's the This Week in Gardening. It's kind of a vlog style thing I do where you just kind of see all the little bits of things I'm doing. So go ahead and check that out on Saturday if you want to see where this is going to end up and how it fits in with everything. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with how well this turned out. And this is why I sloped the gravel up, was because I wanted to create a basin. And you can see here that moss is greening up really fast. So I'm very pleased with that too. So yeah, like I said, next year I'm going to be replacing those philodendrons with some type of dwarf hosta, more than likely. Right, that's going to go ahead and do it for today's video. Hope everybody's doing well. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you already haven't. I'm also on Snapchat, Trop Plant Party. Comment down below. Let me know what you're doing in your garden right now. If you ever grown the Bloomathon Azaleas, what do you think of them? So far, I like it. And as always, everybody, keep on growing. Bye-bye.